Today we will talk about two hot topics in software development, most especially in software development in automotive. Agile. It's like, what is Agile? Agile is kind of holy grail for all software developers because they want to be agile. Sometimes they do not know how to be agile, but yeah. And ASPICE. ASPICE is also a hot topic because it's what OEMs require from us to be able to provide a reliable software. So today I will discuss shortly about that. So when I was preparing for this presentation, I was thinking about the plan, how to do this, how to show this very difficult relationship, show the let's call it challenges between those two. With help of my team, one of my team members, I invented, well, with him, we got a couple. We got a man and we got a woman, or we got a boy, we got a girl. Agile is a boy. And right now we will start with that guy. A story of Agile. A story of him. He was born in 2001. He unfortunately, he didn't know his mother. But, most important, oh, damn it. Okay. He knew his fathers. 17 of them, 17 of great thinkers, software developers, experts gathered in a ski resort in 2001 in February. So the guy is already 18 years old. He is, full grown up. He could not buy. I think he cannot buy a beer in the US, but in Poland he can. Well, they gathered. They wanted to make software development, easier, more. Let's call it more friendly for the developers, better. So they wrote, manifested their approach in a manifesto for agile software development. So, yeah, this is agile. This is something that was about to help in software development, to help that stiff guy to reach his legs. Because, some organisms are too big, too difficult to handle, and they need support. Well, the lady is laughing because she already did this. And she's waiting for him to do that. But maybe let's go deeper into the manifesto. So these 17 experts, they came to conclusion based on the 12 principles of Agile. I will not go deeper into them, but they came to conclusion that the individuals and interactions are more important than the processes and tools. So I will maybe stop here for a little bit because it doesn't mean that you have to skip all the processes, because everything you do, everything you perform, and everything you perform in a way that whatever you put in through the same activities will put more or less the same output. So I read this as the processes shall be alive. They shall be tailored for the purposes of the software development, for the people who are actually performing them. It's not like the people are for the processes, but the processes are for the people to be able to deliver to do their job. The next one, working software over comprehensive documentation. What does it mean? Does it mean we have to skip everything and only focus on coding? Well, I think it means more like, first, your software should work. If you will deliver the documentation, you will not sell it. It will not change anything. It will not work. The documentation itself will not ride a car, but the software will. The next one, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Oh, well, I was working as a sales representative once, but for me it's if we have mutual collaboration, profitable collaboration with our customer, we can discuss everything with them, not only on numbers, not only on the lowest bid, is better, but maybe the approach, together we will find something out. Responding to a change over following a plan. This is very important because, you know, we as a project managers, we create plans, and if we would stick strictly, blindly to that plan, we would not deliver anything. Because environment change, customer requirements change, we cannot follow the plan blindly because we will not sell it. It's not possible. So the guys, the 17 experts, value the left side, so everything what's on the left, over the right side. But they do not say omit the right side. They do not say omit the processes. They do not say omit the documentation. They do not say omit the rest. I will not maybe list everything, but yeah, focus on the software, working software, focus on the collaboration, focus on a team, focus on a faster way to respond to a change, but do not forget about the right side of that story. Do not forget the processes tools, do not forget that documentation, do not forget the negotiation, because the money is where the value is, obviously. And yeah, the plan should be there, but you have to adjust it. Agile experts, they created this word like an agile umbrella, underneath which are several methods, practices, such as Scrum, which is the most popular approach to software development, Kanban, Scrumban, which I don't really know precisely what's inside, extreme programming, feature-driven development, test-driven development, and the continuous integration, which is like a basis for, I think, agile approach. Because what agile is ability to deliver in a short, incremental way working software to our customer so that we can get a feedback pretty fast, not wait until 3, 4, 5 months period when we will show a demo to our customer, but check it earlier. Because during the cycle, this set of cycles, we discover what customer wants, we design it, we code it, and we test it, and then deliver working software every time. So, what Agile is about? Agile is about how to do it. Okay, the story will be complete at the end, but right now, just remember, Agile says how to do it. Okay, we got ASPICE. A story of her. Well, she was also born in 2001. Well, mother unknown as well. Happens. She knows her fathers. She knows the representatives of German OEMs who created her. She knows that they wanted to have a common denominator, common approach, common way to measure their suppliers due to increasing volume of software development in their cars, due to increasing code lines in the cars. They wanted to have a common tool to be able to measure capability and assess the capability, assess the maturity of their suppliers. So these big names. Right now, it's from 2001, so I think the mergers happened and the names, the brands are a bit different. But the guys defined this shape. They defined the V shape of ASPICE. Actually, this is a 3.1 ASPICE, so the V looks a bit different than the original one. I didn't want to mess with you, so I left that one here. They defined the V shape. It may suggest that, all right, V model equals waterfall. But I've read the ASPICE standard several times, and I did not find even a sentence that you should use waterfall to deliver with the ASPICE requirements. All right, so they shape the V. They shape the V. Oh, right, this is here, laser. They shape the V, but also they shape the rectangles here. They defined the process expectations. They defined their requirements in a way that we got some model reference which defines the outcomes, process purpose, the name, the ID, to be able to provide the traceability of that process. And also, they provided the assessment model, which, based on the performance indicators, says that we are able to fulfill process outcomes. How does it look? How is the process defined? The reference model says that you have to achieve number of outcomes to be able to say that you are providing a reliable, transparent for the OEM or for the tier one, from our perspective, software, safely designed, checked at the very beginning so that the quality depth will not raise, because you are assuring that you are checking on the lowest level, checking the quality of the code on the lowest level. You are testing it at the beginning, not at the end. Also, best practices which are supporting achieving the outcomes, and work products that are expected to be found in the in the daily work. So, what do we have here? ASPICE says what should be done. So previously we had, what did Agile say? How to do it, yeah. And ASPICE says what should be done here. Okay, will you marry me? This is a very difficult question. I think part of you, or maybe most of you, have heard it or said it, but will you marry me? Well, the question is it possible to combine what to do with how to do? Of course it is. From my point of view, from my perspective, it is very likely to be combined and work very well. But are we going to be happy? This is something that we are not sometimes thinking up front. Are we going to be happy? Because there's always a price of a good relationship. It's called a compromise. The compromise should come from two sides. Sometimes it comes only from one side, but the compromise should come from both sides. The compromise. So, how to start? Maybe I did not say up front that I will not provide you any kind of, solutions here. I will not provide you any kind of numbers here, but only my experience as a set of, let's call it, ground rules to say that how agile is ASPICE. Because that question is not yet answered. I will answer this in a couple of minutes. First, the mindset. We have to be open-minded and not follow strictly blindly the agile approach. For instance, Scrum. Scrum is a well-defined process where if we will omit or do cherry picking, we will not have a Scrum. We'll have a Scrum-like development. But being open-minded and tailoring the agile methods for our needs, we have to do cherry picking. We have, like our customers, sometimes do cherry picking of our software developers. They pick the best ones. Why not do the same, but with the methodologies? Pick the best approaches, best activities, best, let's call it, for instance, use dailies, but do not follow it blindly. Also, do not follow ASPICE PRM blindly, going one by one, by sentence, copying what's inside the PRM or PAM, so the process assessment model, but just think analyze how to, think out of the box. Because waterfall, no, it's never been, it's not there. Well, it doesn't say follow the waterfall. We have to remember one thing, that ASPICE, what is a requirement which is given by our customers, by OEMs, by tier 1s, so that these additional tasks we have to perform are mandatory. These may or may not, for instance, they should be a part of definition of done of some deliverable. If we are delivering something, every additional task, every documentation we have to provide should be a part of the definition of done. Cannot be the other way. Both agile methods and ASPICE are about the improvement, continuous improvement of daily work, continuous improvement of the software, and also continuous improvement of the processes we are using in our daily work. Because process, as a definition, is everything we are doing. Everything we are doing to provide some outputs by using an inputs through the set of tasks of our activities. What else can help us? What else can support us here is the tooling, because I know that a lot of stuff, if there is no automation in our daily work, then we will not have a commitment of our teams to deliver it. Because continuous integration, test automation, something that is like a holy grail as well, that developer commits his code at the end of his work. He comes back in the morning, he sees, okay, nightly build was done, I got this kind of problems, this kind of bugs, all right, I have to focus on that. This is something, if we have it, it's going to be much, much easier. Kind of task management tool. So Jira is something that is very common for everybody in software development. So use it. Use some tool to collaborate with your team. Configuration management, right? This is a very important point, because there is a number of various let's call it software versions, car versions, where if we do not have a configuration management, if we do not know where the latest software is, if we do not know what kind of tests we use to test that latest software, and what kind of requirements we use to write the software which was later tested, then we have nothing. So use all the tools that are supporting automation of your daily work. This way you can start with having the Agile ASPICE, maybe. Use proper measures. Scrum or Scrum-like process suits more the R&D process, R&D phase of the project. But Kanban maybe suits, it's also one of the Agile methodologies, suits more the maintenance phase or bug fixing, where we do not have to make this incremental approach, but we are fixing what's coming, because it may come during the sprint. What's coming, we are fixing it. Use what brings value. So omit anything that is stopping you, but is also in line with the requirements of the customer. Very important thing. Remember that automotive software development is not the same as web development. There is a difference, right? We are driving the car with the software, and we want to have it reliable, safe. We want to feel safe when the steering wheel is like informing us, because there is a line change and it's informing us. If we would not have it, we would survive, but in the end, we do not want it to fail. Communication, transparent communication. This is something I've experienced, that if we are not saying our customer, for instance, I don't know if I can say the name, so I will just skip the name, but if we do not say the customer that behind our effort, we only counted the development stuff, but we did not put into consideration all the testing activities, all the static code analysis, all the other additional necessary activities to provide the quality of that code. If the customer doesn't know this, we are deeply, well, in mess, shortly. So communication, transparent communication of what we should do, what we want to do, and what kind of effort is behind that. Because the quality, the ASPICE, it doesn't come for free. So the answer for the question how agile ASPICE is, for me, it's how we will define it. It depends on us, how agile ASPICE is. Thank you.